Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Notorious and the Outsiders expansion. We are doing Trilogy mode. Yes, this is where we take a bounty hunter through 3 contracts. It is a new mode introduced with the Outsiders book. And I'm thinking this may be the last part of the trilogy. So episode 3, part 3, this is the 9th video of the trilogy. Each episode, each contract has taken 3 parts, 3 videos. But in part 2, we did actually defeat both of the leads. I have maximum notoriety, so I'm thinking that we might meet the target very quickly. If that's the case, then this might be a short video. But I am actually planning, once I've completed this contract, I am planning at the end of the video to give sort of my thoughts about the Notorious game, about the Outsiders expansion, and about how, I don't know, my feelings after running this trilogy mode. So without further ado, we are going to continue. Now, we finished episode 3, part 2, at the Red Moon Towers, where we've been a couple of times to sort of recuperate and sort of bind our wounds, refill our rations, and we are ready to proceed, which could lead us to the target. So, part 3, we're ready. Exploration. Remember, this game takes part in loops. The loop is exploration and then destination. Exploration, destination, both of which are have the potential to give us encounters. And for episode 3, we rolled randomly and we went back to the core planet. So Notorious will be the core book for this episode, but we are rolling randomly when it is suitable, when it fits the story or when it fits the prompt, to actually roll randomly between the 2 books in order to find out what we're doing. So things like the event tables, we're rolling randomly because episode 3, we're supposed to be combining both the books, which gives us so much variety. It's great. It really is good. However, we are talking too much. Let's get back to the game. Get on with it. Right. So we are looking for Devine Kwame, a female assassin. There seems to be some kind of internal politics within the old empire, within certain elements of the administration, the sort of the leaders. There seems to be some kind of power struggle in terms of offering contracts to take out the governor and then take out the nomad, i.e. me. And then there's contracts to find the killer. And there's all this stuff. I kind of explained a little bit at the end of part 2, but we are continuing on regardless. Let's find this assassin, shall we? Right. We're starting off with our exploration. Now, I do have a notoriety of 6, so on a 2, 3, 4, or 5, we encounter not a lead, because the 3rd lead is the target. So what are we going to get? We get a 6. Nothing eventful happens. Gain 1 motivation and roll a die. Well, I've got maximum motivation, so I don't actually gain anything from this, and nothing really happens. But we have to roll a die in terms of generating some narrative. So what do we get? We get a 4. What destruction do you see caused by the intergalactic war? Well, it's all around me. We've had encounters and events basically saying that this area is being damaged by nomads in starfighters shooting up the area. Also, I think we had one, I can't remember whether it was due to speaking to a local or whether it was an event, but it was talking about how this area or this sort of nearby area was actually being devastated by sort of sabotage, guerrilla attacks by the new uprising on the old empire. So, I mean, the evidence for that, the destruction that I see, it's actually all around this, what's it called? Red Moon Towers. Right, so we basically leave the Red Moon Towers, we travel a little bit, and we're just amazed by the amount of destruction and debris that's around the surrounding area. Now, this is going to lead us to a destination. Where are we going to find ourselves this time? So we go to the destinations. Again, I'm using the Notorious book for the basic roll, but then the event rolls I'm rolling randomly. Right, destination, where do we end up? We end up at a 5. You arrive at a small spaceport run by the challenging faction. I'm pretty sure that I've been here before. Let me just quickly check. I haven't been to location or destination 5 before. Excellent. Good, good, good. We're looking at something new. So 5, we are at the Sunblot Spaceport. This is something that I actually like. Every planet has its own set of 6 sort of specific locations that align. Oops, I've just damaged my character sheet. That's not very good, is it? But they align with the locations that you roll on the table. And every planet's different. So you're getting a specific location for each of these. But if you roll it again, you can choose to go back to the same location or maybe create your own name for future rolls. But we haven't been here before. Okay. Gain 1 notoriety. Well, no, I'm on max. If it's 5 or higher, a hostile guard approaches. Of course they do. And yes, my notoriety is higher than 5. Plus 1 attack. Now, the guild prefers us to be like a scalpel rather than a hammer. So they prefer us not to kill everything we meet. So I will try to threaten them first. I think, threaten does have different tables. So we're going to be using the Outsiders book for the threaten. So I'm basically going to try and get this guy to go away without any bloodshed. If I fail, he's going to be attacking me at +2 attack. So there's a risk. Half your notoriety, I'm getting a +3 to the roll. And easy peasy. We get a 9, they get a 5. Again, unless I say otherwise, black is for my rolls, white is for the enemy rolls. So yeah, that's no problem. We do that. And threat neutralized. What little bit of information do we get? We roll a 3. What's that going to tell me? They suggest a small bribe would settle this. What are you willing to hand over that's valuable to them or hard to find on this planet? Maybe we can come to some kind of agreement. I don't know. What could I have? Something of value. Oh, when I had the endearing mascot, they gave me something which improved my defense by 1 point. I've actually used it, but I don't think it actually... Did it benefit me? I can't remember if it benefited me or not. But maybe I still have the piece of the piece of equipment that gave me that bonus. Maybe it's not functioning anymore, but maybe it's something that could definitely be repaired. So maybe I will pass that sort of broken piece of equipment. I'll give that to this guy and sort of explain, take this to some kind of a repair shop, somebody who's good with technology, and it could potentially, help you. Maybe it generates a very weak sort of force field. So maybe I'll pass that to him in exchange for, for them leaving me alone. I think that could work. I think that will work. So I'll come back over here. We're at Spaceport, weren't we? Right, so we don't have to fight him. We just threatened him and he went away. I can't get the notoriety, and we are done for that. However, we've got to do 2 destination events. Okay, which tables are we going to use? We're going to use, the first one is going to be number 6, Outsiders. So we're going to the Outsiders book. Destinations. Our first event for destinations is Outsiders, and it is 4-1. So table 3 to 4, and it's the first event. 2 guards from the challenging faction stumble out of a doorway. They crash into you, knocking you to the ground. Oh, I've had this one before. Was it episode 2? Can't remember. Okay, choose one. Confront or berate them. They become hostile. Lose 1 favor. Why have they just been thrown out of the building? Or dust yourself off, help them up. They wobble off in different directions. Gain 1 favor, which is what I need to get the 666. Again, I don't really want to lose a favor, but I could definitely do with gaining a favor. I mean, I'm not gonna gain anything or lose anything if I don't fight these, or if I do fight these. It's just, you know, it's not something that's necessary to the overall story of me tracking down the target. So I don't think it's in this case, in this story, the way that I've been creating this adventure. In this case, it doesn't actually play a significant part. If I was telling the story a different way, if the prompts were leading me into a different narrative, then this could be something where I want to attack them. But in this case, it isn't. So I'm just going to take the second one. Dust yourself off and help them up. They wobble off in different directions. We gain one favor. What small victory have they been celebrating? I don't know. I think there was a battle, a starfighter battle happening in the skies a little while ago. So maybe that was a victory for these guys. It doesn't say what challenging faction. Oh, okay, challenging faction is the Red Moon. They weren't really involved, were they? The Red Moon, because I think the starfighter battle was the Empire and the New Uprising. So Red Moon, I don't think was involved with that. But maybe they've had, maybe they've fought off a sort of incursion by the New Uprising, and they've managed to sort of get them out of their territory with minimal losses. Maybe that's what they've been celebrating. So I'm just going to get the favor. Now I'm at 666, number of the beast. And we have a second, I think we have a second, a second destination event. I'm going to be rolling again randomly. It's at 6, so again it's outsiders. 3-3. So it's the same table, but this time it's number 3. An elderly local takes your hand and insists on reading your fortune. You're skeptical, but find yourself sitting down to listen. Roll a dice. I can either gain one motivation or lose one motivation. Oh no. All right, a 1 or 1. Come on, dice gods. Come on, do what you normally... The dice gods have actually been pretty good to me. I've got to be truthful. I've got to be honest. For Notorious and Outsiders, for this trilogy mode, the dice gods haven't been too bad with me, and I am eternally grateful. But pretty much, I'm sure that in the next game that I do, they're going to be back to normal. But I need a 1 now. Dice gods, are you listening? Swines. Shouldn't have said anything. Invoke their name, invoke their displeasure. They look... Oh no, it's wrong one now. They gasp and let go of your hand, ushering you away. What did they learn about your origin that angers or scares them? Lose 1 motivation. No! Maybe they didn't realize who I was. They didn't realize that I was a nomad. So when they sort of read my fortune, they kind of saw all the things that I had done in the past, all the people that I had killed on purpose or by accident kind of thing. And that kind of scared them because they realized, you know, what potential I have for violence and stuff. And maybe that scared them. Yep, that kind of makes sense. And that is our second destination event. You know what that means. We are back to exploring, but we are using the Notorious book for the basic rolls because we are in the core planets for this contract. Now, are we going to find a target this time? Let us see. We need a 2, 3, 4, or 5. There you go. If your notoriety is 5 or higher, you encounter a lead. Lead 3 equals target. We are here at the end. We are at the final confrontation. That's for a countdown, isn't it? Singing the wrong song. Yay! We have found the target. We have stumbled, sneaked, found our way, and we have found Devine Kwame. Right, let's go. So we are using the Notorious book as the basic roller. Target. So first we have to do the showdown, then we have to do... Okay, the information has already been generated. Human and thoughtful. The target killed the governor of Veltari during a speech for new laws. So yeah, the old empire put out the contract to find the assassin of the governor. However, I've been gaining information that another aspect of the old empire, in terms of maybe another group within the old empire, put out the assassination contract on the governor, and then issued a contract out on me. That's, again, this is how I'm generating the story. So, okay, we are going to do the showdown first. Random? Let's do it random. So the showdown is going to be done using outsiders. Okay. I think showdowns can be done with either. Showdown. Right, here we go. Black, white. 5, 5. What's this? You spot them driving or hitching a ride on a fast-moving vehicle and find a resourceful way to catch up to them. I've got to admit, I'm finding a lot of leads and targets on fast-moving vehicles. And the setting... Okay, the darkness all around you is suddenly punctuated by flashing neon signs, lighting your way forwards but signaling danger. Yeah, this really sets a nice little scene for like the final showdown. You know, the dark streets, the cyberpunk feel, the sort of Necromunda stroke Blade Runner feel, hover cars zipping through the crowded streets with all the neon lights, with sort of augmented people all around, different styles of aliens, laser pistols and rifles zapping in the streets. Yes, it sounds like an amazing showdown location. Now, next thing we need to do is to roll up which target, but again, we're doing random for the specific details. So are we going to be using Notorious or Outsiders again? All right, so for this target, for this showdown, is very much Outsiders. Here we go. Targets, we're going to roll and we see specifically what their details are. Badonk. Another 6. You recognize them as a leader for the minor faction. So, again, I developed the story to make them an assassin. I don't think there was anything specifically told me in the prompts and in the target generation that kind of made them an assassin. But I felt that the fact that this target killed a governor kind of led me in that direction. But they are also a leader for the new uprising, which fits the story. It does actually fit the story. It's like the guy in, what was that one? Was it Rogue One? The guy who's like the assassin. He's not necessarily a leader, but he's highly respected within the rebellion. Okay. Again, I forget his name. It's been a long time since I watched Rogue One. Really good movie. One of the best ones. Okay, you recognize them as a leader. Their elite warrior bodyguards try to intercept you. Uh-oh. Okay, resolve all. How have they risen to this position of power so quickly? Because they're good at their job. Because they have managed to accomplish a number of important assassinations, not necessarily just on this one planet here. Maybe they're not a local for this planet. Maybe this is just somewhere that they fled to after taking out the target on the planet Veltari. But I'm thinking that this assassin is a very good professional, good at their job, good at getting away. Maybe this one, maybe there were some little hiccups in terms of the old empire using this assassin, using Devine as basically a tool in their little internal politics. Maybe that's caused a few little hiccups along the way. But yeah, I think it's because they're just good at their job. We'll see how good when we come to fight them. What else? Okay, speak with them as they shout panicked orders. I'm going to roll randomly because, again, the tables are different. So this time, Notorious. Okay. So Notorious, we're using the speak table. Again, there are times where you kind of have to use a specific one from a specific book, but a lot of the time you can kind of choose or randomly generate. Okay, so speak, target, so it's automatic. So we roll, we get a 3. A faction is ruthlessly covering up your target's actions. What happened to the last person who revealed too much information? Talking to you would only make things worse for me. The sort of higher block of officials at the New Uprising, you know, the top bosses, the absolute leaders of the New Uprising are not, maybe they're not happy with the fact that someone of her position or her level of authority is actually carrying out these missions. Maybe they think it should be delegated to somebody of a lower importance, because maybe if she gets caught, the old empire can actually get a lot of information from her through torture, through, you know, psionics or whatever. So maybe they're not happy with this person taking too many risks, and to sort of cover up, they're not adverse to kind of removing pieces from the block, from the board kind of thing, you know. So they're kind of removing elements that could hinder or endanger this assassin's position. And you know, unfortunately, it can include members of the New Uprising faction. Okay, I think that makes a bit of sense. It makes a bit of sense. Where are we now? Right, here we go. A bump. So we've done speak. Right, now we come to the third part, the last part. 2 guards attack you with ranged weapons. Oh no, my ranged are not as good as my melee. If you defeat them, your target draws a ceremonial melee weapon, +2 attack. Is that all? They don't have any defense at all. But I've got to get through the bodyguard first. Okay, so we've got three combats going on, but we've got to take down the 2 guards first. Right, and they are +1 attack and +1 defense. So these guys have both got defense of 1. I have a total defense of 3. But this is also going to have to serve me when I fight the target afterwards. Right, now because these are just bodyguards, I'm not getting the big bonus against these guys. I'm only getting a +2 attack. That's it. I don't have any assets to help me. I do have... I think I've forgotten this every single game. Maybe I'll remember it just for the final battle. One last job. Remember, the outsiders, nomads, have a special rule as part of their loadout. Ignore the first, defense lost versus lead or target. Yeah, I think I've forgotten that a couple of times. If defeated by the target, game over. Well, this is the last one anyway, so let's see. So we're going to fight these 2 guards first. They are +1 attack, +1 defense. I am +2 attack. That's not a huge amount of difference. And because these are bodyguards, I don't get the big numbers. All right, so it's 2-1. So this is ranged. So we're shooting across the streets. I'm shooting from my sort of grav car. They're shooting back from their grav car, shooting laser bolts amongst the neon signs. Right, first combat round. I've got a 2-1 advantage. Doesn't mean much. And I've got 5 motivation. Yes, here we go. Well, how's it go in Star Wars? Pew, pew. So the first is a success. So the first guard loses their only defense. Next combat I've got to do against a different guy. So again, we've got a 2-1 advantage. Nuts. Even if I use motivation, I have to roll a 5 or 6. They have to roll a 1. That's not very good. I'm just going to lose a defense, I think, for this. Because the thing is, if I use a motivation to re-roll this, I have to re-roll a 5 or 6, or they have to roll a 1. That's not good odds. So I think... I think I'm going to lose 1 defense in this case. Right, now we're back to shooting the original guard. He hasn't got any defense left. Come on. That's a draw. That's a draw, so I think I'm going to have to use motivation here. Now, which one do I want to re-roll? If I re-roll mine, I need to get a 3+, and they need to get a 1 or 2. So it's beneficial for me to re-roll mine. So I'm going to use a motivation. I'm just going to cross it out rather than erase it. I'm going to re-roll mine. I need a 3+. Come on! I get a 6. Oh yeah! So the first bodyguard doesn't have any defense left, so he is gone. We have 1 bodyguard left who still has his point of defense. So we're attacking. It's still 2 against 1. There we go. No defense left. Next combat turn. Come on! Yes! Ooh. We take down the 2 bodyguards. Now, I've got 2 defense left, and we are now up against the target. The target has +2 attack, but no defense. And I'm thinking that this is still... Oh no, the target draws a ceremonial melee weapon. So they jump from their hovercar onto my hovercar, attacking with this ceremonial melee weapon. Now that's good because I'm better at melee. And I can ignore the first defense lost versus a target. I'm remembering the skill. So first attack, they get a +2. I'm getting a +4. Come on. Oh, hang on, I still win. They get a 4, I get a 5. They have no defense. Target goes down. Oh yes, nicely done. And this is the 3rd contract fulfilled. Yeah. Right. If you manage to defeat them, choose to capture them to gain 2 favor, kill them to gain 1 favor, or let them go and lose 2 favor. I can do any of them. But I'm kind of again, but the guild, okay, so the guild code. The guild code. The guild code says, don't get attached. The guild doesn't deal in good deeds. Your employer's business is their own. The guild remains neutral. The thing is, the old empire has been a pain in this character's butt for the entire trilogy. And they're not good for the galaxy. Right? They're not good for this area of space. So, if it wasn't for the guild code, I'm kind of thinking that Locke's guild would probably spare this person. So let them go. I mean, Locke's guild is going to be retiring after this anyway. Because he's a veteran, he comes out of retirement to do sort of one last job, or in this case, one last trilogy. So I'm thinking before he goes back to retirement, maybe he spares the target. Because maybe inside, while he was retired until he was called back, maybe he got to see what was happening outside of the guild, what was happening in the worlds, in the core planet area, in the frontier. Maybe he got to see actually what's going on and what the old empire and the Admiral's fleet is actually doing. And maybe that's kind of corrupted his adherence to the guild code. We have been trying to follow it in the game, but I'm thinking that now he's fulfilled his final contract and he is going to retire for good after this. I'm thinking, because he's not the biggest fan, off the record, of the old empire and Assassin's fleet, Admiral's fleet, I'm thinking Locke's guild is going to let them go, but arrange for a substitute body. So the authorities, and as far as the guild is concerned, they have been executed. Maybe I cut off a finger as proof in terms of the fingerprints and genetic DNA sampling to prove it, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm thinking that's the way it's going to go. So for his last contract, he kind of turns his back on the guild in terms of the final target's fate, and sort of says, keep up the work, the galaxy needs you. Go. That sort of thing. And then Devine Kwame kind of grasps her hand with the missing finger. I know, it's been done so many times in the movies. And sort of nods in terms of thanks, doesn't say anything, but sort of disappears into the darkness. Yeah, and I can retire. I'm thinking that's how it's going to end. And I think that's how the story's going to end. Let's end it on a positive note rather than just killing another target. Yeah, let's end it on a positive note where we let the Wookiee win. we let the target go. So that is the end of the trilogy. Locke's Guild did survive all 3 contracts. And I had a lot of fun with this. And with the end of the trilogy, we do have to check the epilogue. Right, so total points for part 3. I got a total of 14 points. But because this is the end of the trilogy, we don't read or follow the epilogue, the standard epilogue. We actually have to check the trilogy epilogue, which is so episode 1 you had an episode epilogue, episode 2 we had a standard epilogue, and then for the third part we have this trilogy epilogue, like the overall ending to the trilogy, the story. So if I take the value, okay, so episode 1 I got 12 points, episode 2 6 points, episode 3 14 points, sorry. So in total I got 32 points, which I think is really good. I don't think I've ever, episode 3 I got 14 points. I think it's one of the highest I've ever got. So our trilogy epilogue, we got 32 points, which brings us here. The second best ending. Hooah! Right, let's read it and bring our trilogy to an end. You feel a strong connection to one faction in particular. Kinda thinking it's the Mystic Coven / Order? An old client or friend gets in touch with a tempting or heartfelt offer, and you can't resist the chance to aid their cause. Which faction offers you a new role away from the guild? I'm thinking the Mystic, again, would it be the Mystic Order or the Mystic Coven? Because my scar links me with the Coven in terms of working with them before, and we did work with the Coven. Yeah, I'm thinking the Mystic Coven. Where do you spend your days and what motivates you? Again, I'm thinking that, I think episode 2? There was that place, was it Fell? Let me just quickly check my notes. Yeah. In episode 2 on, what planet was it? I can't remember the planet. We actually found that sort of city or sort of base, Fell, the Forbidden Lair, which was run by the Mystic Coven. And I kind of made some contacts there, did some good work there, and I think I'm pretty well thought of there. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll go there initially, and then from there maybe I'll work with them to develop some strategies and some tactics, more defensive, because mainly I think at my heart I still have that guild essence where I don't really want to kill unless it's necessary. I don't really want to sort of push all the other factions away, kind of thing. So maybe I'm offering suggestions in terms of defense, in terms of intelligence gathering, but not necessarily in terms of assault strategies. What do you miss about the guild? Or what old habit dies hard? I don't know. What would my guy miss? Maybe the sort of adrenaline pumping, constant action edge of the lifestyle in terms of hunting down, looking for clues, the violence, the fighting. But I think as I'm playing the veteran, as they did spend a bit of time in retirement before this one last job, maybe they're kind of accepting that those days are over, age is getting to them, wounds don't heal as fast, they can't run as well, all these sort of things, body aches. So I'm thinking that they kind of miss the old days when they were young, when they were active, all the excitement and the action. But, I think Locke's Guild is slowly coming to realise that, those days are over. Maybe, again, at Fell, on the second planet we went to, I think it was a marsh-like planet. As a Cuda, a fish-like alien, the marshes could actually provide a place to sort of be a fish alien. So, okay, I think that's pretty damn good. I think I got a good result there. What's this? Okay, a new thread. So, yes, if you do choose to use your nomad after the trilogy, so if you want to do another another contract, another trilogy perhaps. There is a little bit of narrative here to help you continue that journey. So just in case, what does it say here? Despite rising up the ranks of your chosen faction, you eventually feel unsatisfied and begin looking for a way out. You can take the nomad out of the guild. Yeah. Honestly, I think that could probably work with every other nomad type, but I'm thinking for the veteran, it's less likely. So I think I'm happy with the ending here. I think Locke's Gill will retire for good here now. Right, so that is the end of the trilogy. I'm now going to give you some final thoughts in terms of the game, the books, and this new play mode, the trilogy mode. Right, some final thoughts. If you have been watching my channel previously, if you are subscribed, if you're not subscribed, why not subscribe? You will know that one of my earlier videos was on Ronin by Tiago Jundes. And it was one of my first sort of forays into the solo role-playing genre. Now, I have been playing role-playing games for, many, many years. There was a period of maybe 10, 15 years where I didn't role-play very much. But I started with the Red Box, with the D&D Basic Red Box, way back in, it must have been the 1980s. And RuneQuest, 2nd edition. I've been role-playing for many, many, many years, but solo role-playing is more of a recent thing. And again, it kind of started with Ronin, and I'm forever grateful to Tiago for that. And I really like this game. And for Jason Price to then adapt and take that sort of system and produce this, and I've got to say, it's an amazing game. This science fiction version of Ronin. Which adds, like I think I mentioned when I was doing the character creation video, it adds more meat to the bones. It takes Ronin and expands it to just make it a little bit more. I think that's the best way I can describe it. I really do think that if you have any interest at all in solo role-playing or solo gaming in general, I don't think that you can go wrong with these three. With Ronin, Notorious, and Outsiders. Now, Outsiders, it is an expansion for Notorious. It brings more to the game, but it is also stand-alone. You can just play with this one book. So that's why I say that I think you guys really do need to get all three of these. They are definitely a worthwhile investment. You will spend many, many hours playing these games. I mean, as you've seen in this series, what is it? It's a total of 10 videos. One was the very quick overview and character creation, and then we had 9 playthrough videos. And I had fun every single recording session. Editing, not so much. Doing all the graphics and the editing for these videos has been a bit of a task, but I have really, really enjoyed it. And like I say, I highly recommend getting these games. They are not expensive, especially if you get the PDFs like me. Sometimes to my part of the world, shipping can be a problem. Also, I don't have a huge budget. I've got to be honest. So, getting the PDFs, printing them out yourselves, maybe do what I did and print them sort of spread format to save ink and to save paper. It works. It still works. It's absolutely not a problem. So, highly recommended. The new game mode of Trilogy, it's still 85-90% the same thing, the same game. All you're doing is putting 3 games together, 3 contracts together, giving yourself a little bonus, a little boon between episodes 1 and 2, episodes 2 and 3, and you have the opportunity to create this overarching story. Now, I didn't do so much of the overarching story, linking the 3 episodes together kind of thing. But there were elements within each episode that did link them. I was also very, very amazed at how some of my roles and some of the prompts linked elements of the story together that I'd previously found. One thing that I was a little bit disappointed was that hostile rival nomad that we briefly met in episode 3 didn't come back into the story. Watch episode 2 and you'll realize where that guy comes from. All that's left for me to say is get these games, try these games, enjoy these games. They're definitely something that you can bring new gamers in with before you move them onto maybe the more sort of difficult, the more complex games in the genre. But yeah, highly, highly recommended. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this series of videos. It was a lot of work, especially on the editing, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Spread the word. The algorithm really is not helping us small creators and creators who don't focus on D&D and Warhammer. So please, please, please spread the word, share the videos, let people know what we're doing. Not just myself, but for the other sort of small creators as well who are doing amazing work. So guys, thank you once again for watching. Thank you once again for coming to my channel, this little corner of the web. Until the next video, thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers.